Yo, what up? What up? As y'all can see, I got the official liberal white woman fatigue background. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to hold on to this one for a while, especially the season that we in right now. I'm gonna have to hold on to this one. Betray you, what up, man? Stephen, what up? I'm gonna have to hold on to this one. I still haven't found the fortitude and the strength to delete that puffy anime free party. I know that there's gonna come a situation where I'm gonna need that again. Or maybe I wish I could get the picture out of there, and I gotta go find an attachment and download it. I wanna use the shit on Patreon. Damn, Zovicha, what up, man? Long time no see, man. Long time no see, man. What up? Yep, I told y'all this was coming. I I told y'all this was coming. The administrative civil war flare up. I told y'all. I told y'all. Mr. O, what up, man? Yeah, you right. You right. You right, man. Liberal white women are security risk in this country, bruh. Yep. Always have been. That's the crazy part. They always have been. They always have been, man. They always have been. Yeah, I'm glad you found it too, dog. Glad you found it too. Like I said, I'm gonna keep, no matter how many times they delete me, I'm gonna keep putting Tito on my shit so y'all can find me. I'm gonna keep putting it there so y'all can find me. Yeah, I guess I can do that tomorrow. King, that's right. Salute. You go do a show about Rasheed Rice. Are we about to see a no Keisha policy for professional athletes? I don't think so, because it's always gonna be, guys that was with they high school and college sweethearts and everything. It's always gonna be like that. Thanks, Machismo. Thanks, man. Proxy Moron, what up? Top Dollar, what up, man? What up? Yeah, we got a lot of white liberal women monkey shines to cover today. Ruin this fucking country with their goddamn antics. With their antics and hijinks. What? You for real? You serious? KC writes, you heard Kamala announce she running again in 28. Dog, you know how much we go pay if she win? Hell yeah, yeah, yeah. We go pay fucking Dilly if she wins. But don't take it for granted that we even make it to a 2028 election. You never know. Trump could be the last president. You never know. Tech Boy, what up, man? Lion, what up? Chill, what up? Yup. Hey, yup, Karenocracy. That is so fucking apropos. We living in a fucking Karenocracy. Cheese Doodle, what up, man? Whenever I think of white liberal women, you know what I always think of? I always think about when the Title IX compliance really started to hit um in the late 90s, right? I always think about the few guys that was on Boston University football program that ended up committing suicide. I always think about that, right? In case y'all don't know, with Title IX compliance, right? In order for you to stay, because they were about to take Boston University football out of what was back then Division One and put it in Division One AA. And so the NCAA had gave them a certain amount of time to comply with Title IX standards. And so this is what's crazy. If you are going to comply to Title IX standards to be a FBS football team, or what was back then Division 1A football team, your school had to have at least, I think it was eight sports for men and 9 sports for women to compensate for the fact that women don't have football, right? So Boston University spent they had planned to spend millions of dollars trying to start up women's sports teams, but none of the women on campus was fucking interested in that shit, and they didn't have the internet wasn't like it is today, and they didn't have the transfer portal and all of that shit. So rather than trying to scramble or put together some makeshift ass athletic program to meet Title IX standards, they fucking football program just folded all together, and a few of those guys committed suicide behind that. I'll never forget that. I think that was in '97. Yep. Yep. You're right about that. Right about that, Lion. He writes, they cut the scholarship programs for young men and hand them to girls. Yep. 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 That was one of the craziest newspaper, because they had a lot of newspapers back then. That was one of the craziest newspaper articles I think I had ever read. Still to this day, I look, and it was like Boston University football troubles spurs suicide. I'm like, damn, niggas committing suicide on football, and I read it like, oh wow. Why did they commit suicide? Hey, because these guys, the guys that committed suicide was football players, and they didn't have the transfer portal back then, right? Back then, the transfer process, what was crazy back then, if you were going to transfer, you would have had to go somewhere else and sit the year out. You had to go somewhere else and sit the year out if you wanted to transfer back then. So imagine how crushing that was for guys that might have been on their last year eligibility, right? What if you're on your last year eligibility? What if you on your last year eligibility and you are a postgraduate student and you needed that last year of eligibility and that last scholarship because your family cannot afford it? And now you don't have no eligibility. You probably can't get a scholarship nowhere else because they didn't have the transfer portal back then. I'm not saying that's a good reason to kill yourself, but I understand how some of those guys end up killing themselves. Right? Because a lot of times we don't have that much foresight when we're young to know it's a brighter day ahead, But I always think about that when I think of white liberal woman fatigue. So I got some clips for y'all, man. Fair use. Fair use. Fair use.
The Learning Center, which actually spells Quality Leering Center on the outside of their sign. That's how blatant this fraud is here at this daycare.
Don't open up!
So this is Quality Leering Center. I meant to say Quality Learning Center.
Don't open up!
They said they spelt learning wrong.
Here. Don't open up!
How do you have ice here, ma'am? I'm literally a YouTuber.
Don't open up!
Ma'am, what do you think about that?
This is what kills me about white liberal women. White liberal women don't know when the fuck to mind their own business. White liberal women white leftist women. White leftist women have this strange type of arrogance mixed with presumptuousness, mixed with complacency that leads them to believe that they are morally superior in each and every situation, and that they can intercede in every situation, not with force, not interceding by conflict resolution. No. Just interceding with pure raw indignation, whether it's righteous or not. That's what always kills me about white leftist bitches. And they always think that they know better than you. They always think that they know better than you. Oh, we got our first troll of the day. I knew we'd have one come out. Julia Collins writes, Trump, of course, ran to True Social to lie that Renee Good violently, willfully, and viciously ran over an ICE officer because tricking stupid people is more important than anything else. Bitch, shut the fuck up. It's multiple fucking angles that show her striking that man's leg with that goddamn, with that Honda Pilot. Furthermore, bitch, that same officer had been dragged from a fucking vehicle months earlier in Chicago. You think he wanted to take chances? I don't know what the fuck rock you been hiding under. I don't know what type of drugs your ass is taking. But I would think that nowadays, in this media environment, I want y'all to think about something. I want y'all to think about this. Do y'all realize that Jussie Smollett shit, wasn't that like a whole decade ago? Jussie Smollett controversy. Wasn't that like a whole decade ago? Okay, 2019. Right? 2019. Yeah, that was damn near a whole decade ago. Damn near. See, that was damn near a whole decade ago, right? And you know what? You know what we had with us back then that we still have now? Body cameras. And I would think that an ample amount of body camera footage exists throughout this whole Al Gore's internet, throughout this white man's bandwidth. I would think that an ample a glut of police body cam videos have been published online. And guess what? Whenever there's a vehicle involved, there's a common theme. If the nose of that vehicle is suspected to about to be in a situation to strike a police officer, they are going to fire upon you, right or wrong. And I would think that every fucking American that's 10 to 12 years of age will understand that shit. Right? Science guy writes, I gotta be honest, she wasn't trying to hit him. The killing was still unjustified. Well, I got a different angle of the incident that might change your mind. But right now we talking about this leftist white bitch right here. We ain't even got to the shooting yet. We ain't even got to that. Captain Luciano writes, in what way was the killing not justified? Would you do that stupid shit with an FBI agent? No. It's weird that people look at ICE like they not like a authentic, a real federal agency. Yes, they are. They are federal agents just as much as an FBI agent, just as much as a CIA agent, just as much as a DEA agent. Yes, they are federal agents. Yes, they have an authorized use of lethal force. It is what it is. In that split second time, that dude don't have enough time to decide whether you think that you're going to run him over or not. All he sees is a damn near 6,000-pound vehicle coming at him, and he hears an engine, and he hears the acceleration of that engine coming at him. And if you look at the bullet hole is straight through the windshield, not at an angle. So if the bullet hole is straight through the windshield, then guess what that means? That means she had that car oriented directly at him. The bullet hole is not at an angle. It's not coming through the A-pillar. It's coming straight through the windshield. Straight through the windshield. Like I said, science guy, I got some video that might change your mind by the end of this broadcast, man. Top Dollar writes, most of them stem from rich and privileged backgrounds. Leftists are seldom from poverty. It's always the Trustafarians. It's always the fucking Trustafarians. As you go find out later in this broadcast, because we got another one that we go cover. Captain Luciano writes, they keep showing that one video that is unclear because, the one from behind, because the car is blocking everything, but won't show the other three angles of her clearly slamming on the accelerator and pushing over the agent. You know, another thing that they won't show, the side view. The Honda Pilot is an all-wheel drive vehicle with a very sturdy traction control system. So as you can see, that was on an icy and snowy pavement, and you can see the wheels spinning at first until the traction control kicked in and then lunged forward. That dude ain't had time to try to figure all that shit out. Shit, that's a killer be killed situation. They are trained to answer lethal force with lethal force and neutralize the threat. It is what it is. Chief Doodle, thanks for the cash app. Don't let that brother be alone. Yeah. These motherfucking Sandra Bullock, dangerous minds ass women. Show leftist ass up out of here. So you got anything else to say, troll? What? And this is another thing. Can y'all explain to me? I'm gonna read this dumbass comment. Pardon J. Sixer updates. Shane Woods, 17 years in prison, lethal DUI. Andrew Johnson charged with sexual abuse of 11-year-old. John Benuelos, kidnapping, sex assault. Andrew. You bitches are idiots. What the fuck does this non sequitur ass comment have to do with what the fuck we're talking about? What, bitch? What do this have to do with what we talking about? And furthermore, these dudes that you talking about that got pardons, if what they were convicted of is not constitutionally valid, then they should be pardoned or they should get a new trial and have the shit overturned. It don't matter. What difference do it make if they commit another crime after? Wasn't it the famous defense attorney Clarence Darrow that said better 100 guilty men go free than one innocent man pay for a crime that he didn't commit? The fuck out of here with this dumbass shit. Get the fuck out of here with this dumbass shit. Let's go. You know, them motherfucking white men might coddle y'all Karen asses, but I'm not.
The fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota.
Don't open up! We have ice!
And what do you think about this place being licensed for 99 children
Don't open up!
and getting $4 million
Don't
over
open
the
up! It's ice!
$4 million in the last 2 years?
Go away!
What do you think about that? Are you in?
This ugly bitch is screaming ICE, and neither one of these guys is a federal agent. Neither one of them is a federal agent. Here we go. Go ahead and stay. Go ahead and stay. Making my way downtown. Go ahead and stay your ass in here. Julia Collins writes, the same people who prayed to God for Zimmerman and Chauvin to be acquitted root on this ICE agent every step of the way. This is exactly the kind of cruelty and authoritarian. Get the fuck out of here with that authoritarianism shit. Bitch, what's more authoritarian than the Biden administration coming to Facebook every fucking morning and asking them to delete individual posts and sending them links to the posts? What's more authoritarian than that? What's more authoritarian than Obama using the fucking IRS to audit the fucking Tea Party? And we talking about regular individual citizens, not just the Political Action Committee itself, but regular individual citizens. What's more authoritarian than that? What's more authoritarian than Obama using fucking drone strikes to kill a fucking United States citizen that should have been captured and tried? What's more authoritarian than that? Tell me. I'll wait for you to make another comment. Please tell me what's more authoritarian than that. Y'all always scream this authoritarianism shit when you not in power. But then when you in power, nothing is beyond the fucking pale. You fucking kill me with this shit. You fucking kill me with this shit. Y'all kill me with this shit. What's more authoritarian than the Kennedy administration and then later on the Johnson administration wiretapping damn near every single motherfucking black leader, whatever, and setting them up to get killed, then for y'all to turn around and lionize them 60 years later and make memes out of them? What's more authoritarian than that? What's more authoritarian than you talking about you gonna snatch people accounts and keep their money on PayPal because you don't agree with their fucking opinions? What's more authoritarian than that? I'll wait. I'm still waiting. Oh, I know you shocked because you used to them greasy lipped ass niggas that worship you. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Or I know you shocked because you so goddamn complacent that you just think that all black people go automatically agree with you. No, not over here. You found the right channel today, goddammit. You found the right channel. Authoritarianism. Get the fuck out of here. That's fucking rich. Hardy har har. Authoritarianism. What's more authoritarian than harassing people and running people out of jobs over a difference in opinion? I'm still waiting, Julia Collins, with your self-righteous ass. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. I thought so. Fuck up out of here.
Go away!
Are you in favor of that?
Go away!
You know
You're
what
not welcome here.
Are you-
Shame on you.
Are you in favor of $1.9
Shame
million
on you.
going illegal?
Now, you know what's hilarious about this clip right here? This is the same type of liberal white bitch that when they are, when the news announces that a new weapon is about to be commissioned by the armed forces, right? When they announce that, I don't know, the Marines are switching uniforms or some shit like that. This is the same type of bitch that will complain about military expenditures. Right? This is the same type of motherfucker that will complain about military expenditures, right? Even though that's for our fucking national defense. Even though most likely, whatever expenditure they make is going to be with an American company, and there's going to be jobs for citizens. Even though they will complain about military expenditures. And we got enough weapons, or you're just buying those to kill brown people. Right? That's what they'll say. But then when it comes to massive fucking fraud like this, they want to try to protect it. It's possible that this fraud is in the multi-hundreds of fucking billions, and they want to protect this shit. And you know why? Because they know what this fraud facilitates. They know. White bitches are extremely calculating. They know what this fraud. This ain't no moral high ground shit, right? They know. Exactly. No news. At this point, these fraudulent people have stolen more money than our military budget has received. Exactly.
Legally,
Open up!
fraudulently to this business that has quality learning center but can't even spell learning right on the door.
Don't open up!
Ma'am, we are not ICE.
I don't care who you are, you don't belong here.
I belong here just like you belong here.
Don't open up! It's ICE!
You do realize that there's supposed to be 99 children here at this building, but there's no one here.
This is a
State of
child daycare
Minnesota
center.
says 99 children. Paid $1.9 million this year in CCAP funding.
She don't care.
Do you know where the children are? Were they kidnapped? They run away? Where are the children?
Now she confused.
This is state of Minnesota. Right here.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley, ma'am.
And who are you with?
Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley on YouTube.
Yeah, so who are you with here?
Oh, he's just been doing some research investigating the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm with Nick Shirley.
This lady,
Yeah, it's almost like they're angry that they uncovered the fraud. But this, like I said, white women are very fucking cold and calculating. She knows exactly what this fraud is aspirational to. She understands that this fraud is not only bankrolling Minnesota Democrats, not only bankrolling Democrats on a nationwide basis, but it's also buying votes for the state of Minnesota and making sure that their super liberal policies can continue with super leftist policies. Oh, I saw that dumb nigga get popped in the face. Illmatic Rice, I saw a black dude get sprayed by an ICE agent for trying to take his gun. These matriarchal niggas are programmed by these black bitches. Notice he was the only nigga out there. That you know what? We almost can't even count them. We can't even count them as regular niggas. Those are them motherfucking them campus wannabe boule niggas. Yeah, you right. No News podcast. She probably don't care because she probably don't even pay taxes. She's probably getting the fucking SSI check by the looks of her. You're probably right. Fair use.
Resurfaced social media posts from C. Weaver, newly appointed by New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani as director of the mayor's office to protect tenants, are drawing backlash online after she previously described home ownership and private property as a weapon of white supremacy. The posts, dating back to 2018 and 2019, were amplified by conservative accounts on X as critics questioned her views on property and housing policy. Weaver, a longtime tenant organizer and Democratic Socialists of America member, has since deactivated her X account. Mayor Mamdani's office has not commented, but the mayor has emphasized that his administration's focus is holding landlords accountable and improving living conditions for renters, not seizing private property. Both Mamdani and Weaver are expected to face continued scrutiny as the administration.
Yeah, y'all heard that right. Look, you your man can't even process what you just heard. No News podcast, right, bro? What? Yeah, yes. She actually said that private property is a quote unquote weapon of white supremacy. There's that good old leftist white female cushiony soft racism of lowered expectations. So are you presumptuous enough, C. Weaver, to think that people of color, as you call them, can't own property? Like what do you mean? They say God bless the child that's got his own. So what do you mean by that? What the fuck do you mean by that? Shit. What the hell you talking about? That's the type of shit. That's the type of victim narrative. The shit that they will make up. And that's exactly what I was about to say, Illmatic. That's exactly what I was about to say. Illmatic Rice, liberals or leftists, because there's nothing liberal about them. That word liberal is a gaslight. That's why I try not to use it. Leftists will own land, but tell your black ass that owning land is a bad thing. Yep. Yep, that's all this is. Saul, that's all this is. Saul writes, this is a strategy to keep blacks out of the market. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all this is. A lot of these blue city mayors, when they talk that shit, that Schwab that he said in the future, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. I understood that when I first heard it for what it is. Number one, it's an attack on everybody's collective property rights, but it's mostly an attack on black people's property rights, especially black men, because that's where they started first. If y'all haven't noticed, in these blue cities, property taxes started to skyrocket. They are trying to force everybody into a tax lien situation, and especially in black areas. In all of the black areas in these blue controlled cities and areas, in these blue controlled regions, I should say, in the majority black areas, property taxes have skyrocketed in the past decade. And they are trying to do that to force black people, and it's mostly black men as property owners, to force them into a tax lien situation. So once they force you into that tax lien situation, then that clears the way for some private equity firm to send somebody to the tax lien, the county auction, and just buy up dozens of properties every fucking day. And trust me, they paying somebody in those recorder of deeds offices kickbacks so they can know exactly what day and what time them properties gonna be up for auction. And they show up right there. They do a wire transfer. They got cash in hand. Bam. They buy these properties and they sit on them. Y'all be surprised to find out how much fucking property that BlackRock is owning in these abandoned ass areas. Illmatic writes, they understand that land is power, and we have millions of Keishas gaslighting black men that want to level up is trying to act like a white man. Yeah, that bullshit. That's just trying to mimic white patriarchy. No, bitch, we just trying to make money. Fuck out of here. Captain Luciano writes, food for thought. The leftist white woman herself is a weapon of white supremacy. Yeah, notice how that Minnesota chick immediately came a martyr and was deified. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, I noticed that. Yep. Now here's the post that they was just talking about from 2021, fair use.
What I am envisioning is a world in which the housing is owned by a collective and people are paying 30% of their income in order to live in their housing. If your income is zero, you pay zero. If your income is $500,000 a year, you're paying 30% of that. And the government is providing the government is the sort of owner, or not even the owner. The government doesn't have to be the owner, but the government is what's making sure all of that sort of works in cash flows.
The debt to GDP ratio right now is the highest.
In what alternate universe could that be economically feasible? Somebody please tell me, in what alternate reality could what she just proposed be economically feasible? In what alternate reality could a proposal like that be legal? Number one, that goes against the 14th Amendment, equal protection under the law. So if somebody makes $500,000 a year, they got to pay 30% of that. If somebody doesn't make any money a year, well, they just live rent free. Well, guess what? You know what you do? You stifle people's drive to go out and succeed and to go out and innovate and to go out and create. Because if I do, why should I try to have a profitable business that serves my community? Why should I do all this struggling and striving when I could just do nothing and live rent free? Why should I work for streets and sanitation and pick up people's trash when I could just live for rent free? Why should I be a plumber and thread pipe all day? And have to go into commercial environments and take and remove, toilets off the floor, pick up heavy ass porcelain toilets off the floor in funky ass bathrooms. Why should I do that? Hell, I can just not do anything and live rent free. Because 30% of zero is zero. And it's not only unconstitutional by the 14th Amendment, but it's also against the Bill of Attainder. You're punishing more profitable people for being profitable. It's illegal and invalid. In what world does she think that this shit is possible?
Now is the highest since World War II. So how can the federal government also afford to start subsidizing rental housing costs?
The federal government prints money. The federal government can provide money for them.
So it's by printing money.
Sure.
That sounds like something a 5-year-old would think of. Oh, the federal government can just print money. They just have money. You know what? I'm not saying I condone it. But when you look at these clips, you begin to understand why these white men snap and do things to these women. You begin to understand why. Yeah, you begin to understand why, man. Fair use. Hey, I can't imagine that either. Chill writes, I can't imagine what will happen to New York City with that socialist mayor, Mamdani, and all these promises he made, especially in Brooklyn and Harlem, and how it affect blacks. Well, you ain't got to worry about Brooklyn. Brooklyn is thoroughly fucking gentrified. Harlem, maybe Brooklyn is thoroughly fucking gentrified. KC writes, nobody wants black men to have shit. Nobody wants us around. So why don't they give us our own island and leave us alone? Well, they tried that. We had our own black towns. And white people supposed to be so intelligent, especially white men. They supposed to be so motherfucking intelligent that when they seen that black men had all black towns, they burnt all of them down, flooded all of them out, only to complain a few decades later that niggas want to live next to them. Or they have to compete for housing with niggas. Niggas already had their own housing. You burnt it down. Yep. Ilmatic right shit. This shit is nothing but the dumb leading the blind through propaganda. Yeah, you're right, Top Dollar. somebody owns the house that this bitch is recording in. Somebody owns the house that she recording in.
Onto the street. A woman parked her car, preventing the ICE agents from leaving, and was ordered to exit the vehicle.
See, this is the angle that most of the news outlets are showing, and I don't really like it that they showing this angle. Let me full screen this. Well, that's a little bit better. But this is the angle that they keep showing, and this is really a poor angle. And even Fox News is doing it, and that's what's driving the propaganda.
Multiple times. Officers attempted to open her door after she wouldn't comply. That's when she backed up her car and gunned it straight at an ICE agent. The agent opened fire on the driver to defend himself.
What the dude? What the
This is actually the worst angle. This is actually the worst angle. Now, this is what the news is not going to tell you. This is what the news is not going to tell you. Number one, this woman was in a lesbian couple, and they have been following around this particular set of ICE agents all day. They have been following them around all day, right? They have been following them around all fucking day, impeding their investigations, right? Being in law enforcement is real tricky psychologically, right? It's mostly a long, monotonous days that's occasionally punctuated by moments of terror like this. So if you are a law enforcement officer and you notice that it's people following you, that becomes a reasonable suspicion enough that those people plan to do bodily harm to you. Because people don't typically follow the police. People don't typically follow federal agents. People try to stay the fuck away from federal agents, or they yield to their vehicles and let them drive past. Right? So she tried, after they kept following them all day, she decided to drive her vehicle and put it perpendicular across the street to try to block the rest of the ICE agents and their vehicles from following the first vehicle, right? And they asked her to move. They knew that there was them that had been following them. And so at that point, a dude was like, hey, man, come here, get out of the car. Get the fuck out of the car. And the only thing that would have happened to her is that they would have temporarily detained her. Right? They would temporarily detain her, and they would have issued her a misdemeanor federal summons for court. The disposition of her vehicle would have just been, it is what it is, unless one of them was going to legally park it. I doubt it. I doubt her vehicle would have even got towed, because the feds don't have nothing to do with traffic, right? But that's what was going to happen to her. Here's something else the news won't tell you. The news won't tell you that in all day harassment of federal agents that one of the women from this lesbian couple, right, had got out to film it. And so she got out, she was out on the driver's side of where the vehicle was trying to film it. And she was focusing in on the woman's face that was driving because they wanted to go viral on social media. Well, they got their wish. They got their wish.
Kristi Noem, who was in Minneapolis today overseeing operations, is describing it as an act of domestic terrorism.
She had been stalking and impeding their work all throughout the day. ICE agents repeatedly ordered her to get out of the car and to stop obstructing law enforcement, but she refused to obey their commands. She then proceeded to weaponize her vehicle, and she attempted to run a law enforcement officer over. This appears as an attempt to kill or to cause bodily harm to agents, an act of domestic terrorism.
Multiple eyewitnesses have confirmed.
Well, Science Guy, first of all, okay, let me read your comment. Science Guy writes, the problem is that from all the angles I've seen, he wasn't in threat of getting hit. Also, her wheels were turned to the right, meaning she was driving away from him, trying to escape getting detained. Okay. Well, first of all, this is a Honda Pilot. It's not a Model T Ford. It's not a Model T Ford. It's not a Stutz Bearcat. It's not an old Packard or any of them cars where they had exposed wheels where you can see what way the wheels are turning from in front of the car. A Honda Pilot is a medium-sized boxy vehicle with a very boxy front end and a low bumper, and so you have to damn near be under the car to see where the wheels are actually turning on the side of the car, and that's not what he was. He was dead in front of that vehicle. He was dead in front of the vehicle. And if you go look up the picture of a front end of a Honda Pilot, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. And this is my next question. Right? Everybody always tell black men that, hey, you should have complied. Hey, you should have just took the key out of the ignition. Hey, you shouldn't have tried to accelerate. If that's what everybody is always telling black men, why is it that one of the people from one of the groups that always tell black men that shit is not doing the same thing? I'm just saying. And that's another thing. Saul writes, people will assume nefariousness when you block the feds. What the fuck? That's another thing. If you use a vehicle or you use some type of apparatus or you use a large group of people to encircle law enforcement officers or federal agents, it is a logical conclusion that you plan to do bodily harm to them and they're going to act accordingly. I'm not talking about morality. I'm not talking about right or wrong. I'm just talking about how it is in the streets. If you're a uniformed officer and people are trying to box you in, or anybody that they're trying to box in, that's a logical conclusion for them to come to. Yeah, Illmatic, everybody else gets a pass but a black man.
Confirmed that this activist was screaming, yelling, disrupting ICE operations all day. One witness says she was the main car leading the protest.
See?
You know if she was the target?
I don't know if she was a target. They clearly wanted her out of there because she was the main car leading the protest, is my understanding. I talked to another guy who was driving behind her, but she was very.
Wait, hold on. I don't, Science Guy, I don't know how it sets a bad. Science Guy says my only issue is that this sets a bad precedent for black men as well. This type of rhetoric can be further used against them. she's still wilding for obstructing him. I don't think she deserved that. How can this be used against black men? How can people go any further with like cop worshiping rhetoric or just excusing bodily harm or done towards black men? Right? How can the rhetoric against us be ratcheted up any further? Because there's multiple videos out there in where black men are complying and they still get shot. There's thousands of them. So how is this setting a bad precedent for black men when there's videos of us complying and still getting shot and she being anything but compliant? This ain't got nothing to do with black men. But these white bitches be talking about they want equality. Now they got it. They wanted equality. They got it now. Congratulations.
She was very successful in blocking traffic. She was doing what she was set out to do. And so they wanted to get her the hell out of there.
Mind you, this woman that's talking right now is one of the people that live on the street where that happened.
Yeah.
So it looked like she was impeding ICE vehicles.
Definitely, yeah. Okay. That was her goal.
The woman who lost her life was a self-proclaimed.
I mean, it's unfortunate that she got killed, but to me, this is you can debate whether this is clout chasing gone wrong or this is suicide by police with extra steps. I'm just saying. Fair use.
Quote, I made her come down here. Now, there are a lot of questions around why this woman from out of state was in Minnesota. Why was her wife outside of the vehicle filming while she obstructed law enforcement? And if this woman was just trying to flee, why was she leaving her wife behind? Now, by all means, there are arguments for these things. She's a protester. You're allowed to protest. Driving from Colorado, Minnesota is kind of weird, but it's allowed. Maybe she was just trying to evade law enforcement after committing a misdemeanor or felony and was willing to leave her wife behind to escape the police. That's why her wife was left outside. However, we're going to break down the law.
Now you heard what little Timmy just said. Y'all heard that. Her wife was outside the car filming. They were trying to, it appears they were trying to go viral on social media. And she said that it's my fault. I'm the one that convinced her to come up here. She wasn't even from there.
And give you the latest.
Yeah. Her wife King. They was in one of these, Yeah, Yep. All the way from Colorado. Yep.
Updates on what really happened, and it is her fault. This woman who was shot and killed is being called a victim. I reject this. We had the debate last night, and while I initially said that I believed she wasn't intending to hit the officer and was trying to flee, but still put the officer in fear of harm, no, I've changed my mind. I'm going to show you the slowed down footage that I believe proves this woman was intending to kill that ICE agent. And I'm going to show you the propaganda from the left to obfuscate and cover this up. Now, you may be
here you go, science guy. I got another clip for you too, but watch this.
Asking yourself, I can't believe it, Tim. A middle-aged white woman trying to murder an ICE agent? I know, that's why I didn't believe it either. I'm sitting here thinking it's some wackaloon lefty who is just protesting. When the cops approach her vehicle, she tries to flee, and the cop in front of her car gets hit. He does. Not like brutally. He's not run over. Trump is wrong. I have no problem saying that. But he gets hit and he shoots through the windshield, killing her, and follows up with 2 shots through the side of the car. Now, we can have an argument about whether or not he should have kept shooting, but by the letter of the law, it is called a clean shoot. I wish it did not happen. I do not want this woman to lose her life, nor anybody. But we're going to break down the lies on the left and the propaganda. I will start by saying this. I don't believe, in hindsight, after reviewing the footage and everything, the ICE agent needed to shoot this woman. That being said, it's a split-second decision. You're standing in front of a vehicle. It spins out, trying to run you over. I'm going to show you the video proof. Calm down, liberals. I got the video proof.
You heard that? It spins out. Those are the moments before the traction control engages. Remember, the Honda Pilot is a full-time all-wheel drive vehicle.
I'm going to show you from our good friends, the Krasensteins, who have helped crack the case. This woman hit the accelerator while aimed at the law enforcement. And they're all saying, no, she turned her wheels to the right. It's my fault. The de facto wife of the woman who was killed by ICE said, it's my fault. Quote, I made her come down here to confront agents, as she breaks down in harrowing footage. Now, I want to make sure this is very clear. She said, quote, I made her come down.
She made her come down here to confront agents. She made her come.
Wait. Let's look at that again.
Yep. There you go, science guy.
Let's zoom in a little bit so that you can see how this took place moment by moment. Because as you're seeing it now, she actually hits the ICE officer.
Look at his body going back.
Then the ICE officer engages with lethal force. Angles matter because you can get one side of the story from behind that car, then a completely different story from a different angle. That federal ICE agent was hit first, then he fired. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. I have the other angle of the incident that took place in Minnesota where a woman lost her life. This is the angle that is trending. You see what took place from behind her vehicle. And this is the other angle. Tell me what you think. Wait. Let's look at that again. Let's zoom in a little bit so that you can see how this took place moment by moment. Because as you're seeing it now, she actually hits the ICE officer. Then the ICE officer engages with lethal force. Angles matter because you can get one side of the story from behind that car, then a completely different story from a different angle.
Yeah, that was her goal. They clearly wanted her out of there because she was the main car leading the protest, is my understanding. I talked to another guy who was driving.
You want to know what else that the news ain't telling y'all? Now, I'm finna get into the same level of petty that they get with black men. Right? I'm finna get into the same level of petty that they get into with black men. Did y'all know that woman, Renee Good, had a record? She had a criminal record. Right? She had other run-ins like this with the police before, disorderly conduct, and she also had a couple of child abuse charges from burning children with cigarettes. The news ain't gonna tell y'all that though. So I'm guessing that most likely it was a boy. I haven't been able to find that information out yet, but most likely it was a boy, and most likely it was a boy that reminded her of the father, and her misandrous ass tortured him. The news won't tell you that though. You only go get that here. The news won't tell you that. Yeah. She had a record. Yeah. Yep. Well, all of that self-righteous, moralistic shit that white bitches on TikTok be talking about, how men brutalize women and children. She got a record for burning a child with a fucking cigarette. That's sick. We all know gangster. We all know that was a boy. That's why she married to a woman now, because her ass is not compatible to a regular relationship. Yep. I mean, I kind of get what you're saying, Science Guy. Science Guy writes, I'm definitely somewhat neutral still. I might kind of lean with Tim Pool on not needing to have shot her, but I see the angle somewhat. Okay, but in that type of split-second situation with a vehicle, like I said, damn near 6,000 pounds. Let me see what the curb weight of it. They look like a 2013 Pilot. I want to be accurate. Curb weight, 2013 Honda Pilot.
The 2013 Honda Pilot's curb weight varies. It's around 4,300 pounds for two-wheel drive models and over 4,600 pounds for all-wheel drive trims, depending on the specific features.
I never saw anybody with a two-wheel drive Honda Pilot. I didn't even know they fucking made them. And I work on cars. Maybe that's something they sell in Japan or something. But everybody here opts for the automatically has the all-wheel drive one. Okay. So I'm sorry. So it's roughly 4,600 pounds. 4,608 pounds. So when you have a almost 5,000 pound vehicle barreling down on you at close range like that, you really don't have time to decide, well, is she gonna cut her wheels? Is she before you get ran over? He did a very reasonable fucking thing. Very reasonable. And mind you, Science Guy, remember, this same agent got dragged by a car. Wait a minute. Let me go pull that clip up and share it with myself right quick.
Deportation officer with him. New at 10, WCCO's Uba Ali walks us through this video and the political fire.
Yep, here it is right here. Hopefully this don't take forever.
Storm behind it.
What began as a planned federal immigration
He just got dragged from a car a couple months ago. So I could kind of understand how this particular federal agent here we go.
A traffic stop, dragging a deportation officer with him. New at 10, WCCO's Uba Ali walks us through this video and the political firestorm behind it.
What began as a planned federal immigration arrest took a violent turn in this quiet Bloomington neighborhood. And it was all caught on camera. According to a federal complaint, agents were executing a warrant for 39-year-old Roberto Carlos Munoz. They say Munoz entered the country unlawfully, and he also pled guilty to fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct back in 2023 for abusing a minor. Tuesday morning, agents pulled him over. Court documents say he repeatedly refused to comply before a federal agent took out his spring-loaded window punch with his right hand and broke the driver's side rear window. These images show the officer's hand in the vehicle. In this video, you can see the driver take off with the agent hanging from the car, dragging him 300 feet through front yards. These graphic images show the aftermath. A bloody agent who needed 33 stitches for his significant cuts. And now a political battle with a top Homeland Security official criticizing Governor Tim Walz, posting on X, instead of comparing ICE law enforcement to the Gestapo, Walz should be thanking our brave law enforcement. The Department of Justice says a request for Munoz to be held after that 2022 arrest was, quote, not honored by local authorities, and Munoz was released.
And more charges.
This home security video shows the driver taking off during a traffic.
Yeah, same guy. So I mean, walk a mile in his shoes. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, walk a mile in his shoes. Hey, I'll try to look for it. I'll try to look for it, Saul. Saul writes, we need that child abuse info. We need to troll them leftists for defending the child abuse. Yeah, burnt with a cigarette. That's what the news not gonna tell you. Yeah, but white leftist women are becoming a plague on this fucking society. White leftist women are driving many of the debates and narratives that is going to lead this country to a civil war, is going to lead this country to a demographic winter, is going to lead to all types of just destruction out of these bitches' mouths. From the victim narratives to the equity, the gender equity and equality of outcomes narratives that disenfranchise men who are qualified and they not qualified, to narratives that are very divisive to among black people. For instance, if a black woman or a black man puts up a video saying that black women should wear their natural hair, you will find white women immediately in the comment section of that goddamn video talking about that they think it's just oppressive and controlling that black men presume to be able to command black women what hairstyle to wear. When we talking about mental issues and health issues, and we talking about a black issue, and they not black, but here they come with they fucking nose in the business, because that's how they are. They always think that they know better than you by default. They always think that. They always think that. But now, leftist white women, you starting to see now that you don't lost that damsel in distress shield. Now people don't went from seeing you as a damsel in distress to being an ungrateful shrew. Yep, I said that many times, King. King Des writes, they used them to lead Keisha astray, knowing they would lose a percentage of white women to feminism. They thought the percentage would be much lower. Yep. They thought they thought that they would lose about 10-15%. Right? They found that to be an acceptable risk to lose them. Because they're like, oh, well, only the unattractive ones are gonna, fat and unattractive are gonna be with the feminism and the gays. That's not all women. Right? They didn't know what this was gonna cause. They greatly underestimated the poison they was working with. They greatly underestimated it. Like the great Neely Fuller said, if you mix poison, sooner or later, some of it is going to seep into your hands. Oh, yeah, the lies about financial abuse. Do you mean by financial abuse a motherfucker not letting you dictate his pocketbook, his wallet? Is that what you mean? Or by financial abuse, do you mean that unless you do what you doing, what the fuck this man wants you to do, he not finna give you shit? Is that financial abuse? Yep, you ain't never. Oh my God, you ain't never lied. KC writes, the white man and woman came out of that cave and destroyed the whole world in less than 10,000 years. Yep, in less than 1,000 years. Yep. Yeah, they've been letting them run astray. These white boys got to start controlling these hoes. Yeah, they've been letting them run astray. They need to take that shit back to the fucking medieval times. Because this current format of society ain't working out. And now they got the whole fucking human race headed for extinction. Damn near every country is in a demographic winter. Damn near every country. I remember Richard Pryor said before that there'll never be a shortage of niggas. I don't know. That ain't looking so good. I don't know, Rich. It ain't looking so good right now. Right? Well, all right, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this live. See what I'm going to do for tomorrow. It's been a Black Pill PSA. Peace.